one night. 6 exceptional artists.
This was the most difficult record to write.
I really do just lose myself when I'm up there, and I want to hold on to that as long as I possibly can.
4 incredible performances. Experience music like you've never experienced it before. This is Lexus Amazing Performances.
No one's laughing anymore. They're dancing with us now.
The Grammy Museum represents the best of the best in the music industry. And tomorrow night, some of our featured artists may be honored here. But first, we bring you performances from this year's breakout artists and go behind the scenes with some of the most imaginative minds in music and art. So, let's start the show. Just 25 years old and a first-time Grammy nominee alongside Beyonce and Rihanna, and with a mentor like Seal, for Galant, this is only the beginning of a formidable career. When you first came to LA, how did you navigate through the music industry?
It was hard for me. I felt I was really on my own initially. You know, I had like an apartment in North Hollywood, like the cliche, like slept on the floor, like didn't have a mattress, didn't have any cups. I just remember really focusing on what is going to be the best way for me to get from, you know, where I am now mentally to just a better mental state. And a lot of that was just through the writing process. I'm a headless horseman on quilted sandals. With my neck wide open, I pray for refuge.
Well, let's talk about the song you're performing on the show for us, Bourbon.
It's an interesting one. It was one of the only songs on the album that I wrote late at night. You know, I usually work during the day. It was like a very kind of frantic process. It's one of my favorite songs on the record. I think it's one of the most lyrically dense songs. I haven't really performed it a lot, and so I'm happy to perform it today.
Your full-length ology, which by definition means the study of.
Right, yeah.
So what is this album the study of?
I thought ology was the best way to describe the album making process, because it didn't really feel like I was making an album. It felt like I was putting myself up on like a blackboard and trying to dissect certain aspects of my psychology and just tearing myself apart. The cover art was the first thing I did. The name was the last thing that I came up with, and it just made sense afterwards.
heard you say in other interviews that you found trouble expressing yourself. What I find so interesting is that you get up on this stage and there is no holds barred. The emotion is just spewing out of you.
For some reason when I'm on stage, it taps into something else that's more cathartic and so much just like meditation at that point, you know? Even if I never figure out how to make it boil over into casual conversation and everyday interactions, you know, I'm just so lucky and honored to have that outlet.
Our next artist is known for their music videos. In fact, they're up for Video of the Year. We sit down with OK Go to talk about this epic music video, Upside Down and Inside Out.
Upside down and inside out, and you can feel it.
How did you come up with an idea to do this in zero gravity?
I heard about plane flights that simulate zero gravity about 10 years ago. And Tim will recall that, like, as soon as I hear something like that, I'm always like, we're gonna do a video like that. When I did find a plane to play with, Tim was a man of his word, and he did the video despite the fact that he hated every second of it.
Don't know where your eyes are, but they're not.
We shot it in Russia, just outside of Moscow. I was directing with my sister as the co-director, and we didn't even meet our crew till we got there.
So when you met the new you.
There's a whole like nausea thing you have to get over, right?
Over the course of filming, we had, I think it was 68 puke events.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
We did like 21 flights, over 300 parabolas. You know, I mean, there's a lot of up and down.
Can't stop, it's like a freight train.
Congratulations for being nominated for Video of the Year. I know you're no stranger to producing really cool music videos. How are you going into this one?
We're headed straight into this one with the full knowledge that Beyonce is going to win. If, like in that 0.3% chance that we win, we'll just go up and go, thank you.
This is Lexus Amazing Performances, featuring the all-new Lexus LC500. Lexus, experience amazing. Tomorrow night, music's biggest stars will gather here for the award show of the year, and artists like Lukas Graham could secure their spot in music history. You introduce us to your father in this song. It's pretty intense, so I can't imagine having lost my father being able to sing a song like this. How do you do that?
You kind of learn to live with it in a different way, because then every time I meet people who hear the song and put their meaning to it, it helps me and it means something to me. But definitely it is weird having to revisit my father's death while I'm working and in doing what I love the most.
You're not there to celebrate the man that you made.
If your father were alive today, what do you think his reaction would be to all of this?
That's a good old-fashioned catch-22. If my father hadn't died at the time he died, I wouldn't have written the songs about him dying that led us to travel the world. I wish we could have gotten worldwide fame and success without him dying.
But I think he would be unbelievably proud, because he was like one of our biggest supporters in the beginning. When we started playing in the jazz club in Christiania where Lukas grew up, he would like cook us meals before we played our shows. He would make flyers and hand them out to everybody in the streets. It was an amazing time, and he was such a big part of this when we started out. So
Believed so much in us.
Time can heal your wounds if you're strong and standing tall.
How has being a father affected writing lyrics and songs?
Well, sometimes I get interrupted in my writing late at night when you have crying babies. And all in all, I think it's contributing quite well. Now that I've become a father myself, that I'm distancing myself from my father's death a little bit. It's becoming something else.
stories, and you know I tell them right. I remember you and I when I'm awake at night. So give it up for fallen glory. I never got to say goodbye. I wish I could ask for just a bit more time. With every step I take, you used to lead the way. Now I'm terrified to face it on my own. You're not there to celebrate the man that you made. You're not there to share in my success and mistakes. Is it fair? You'll never know the person I'll be. You're not there with me. Though I know that you're not there, I still write you all these songs. It's like you got the right to know what's going on. And as I struggle to remember how you used to look and sound, at times I still think I can spot you in the crowd. With every step I take, you used to lead the way. Now I'm terrified to face it on my own. You're not there to celebrate the man that you made. You're not sharing my success and mistakes. Is it fair? You'll never know the person I'll be. You're not there with me.
Tomorrow's the big day you find out whether you win or just a nominee. Either way, it's a pretty big deal, but I have to ask, do you have any predictions?
Hope for everything, expect nothing, and work harder than the rest of them.
We already won in some way.
Yeah, it probably sounds like super cheesy, but we wasn't even expected to get nominated. So in some sense, we already kind of won.
Sure.
So it's just, it's
We're from the smallest country in the world, and we're nominated for 3 Grammys. That's pretty.
That's wild.
That's pretty intense.
Tell us about the moment you got the phone call and found out that news.
We were driving in a tour bus in eastern Ohio.
Yeah, and we had like a 20-hour drive in front of us.
When we then got to Philly, these 2 boys did not make it past dinner. But that's a whole different story.
Time can heal your wounds if you're strong and standing tall. I've been doing all of that, it didn't help at all. They say you'll grow older and it'll get better still. Yes, I will, but no, it won't. They don't get it, 'cause you're not there to celebrate the man that you made. You're not there to share in my success and mistakes. Is it fair? You'll never know the person I'll be. You're not there with me. You're not there. You're not there. You're not there. You're not there. Terrified to face it on my own.
From 2016's breakout artist to a band who's topped the charts year after year, the success of Incubus in the music industry has had its advantages.
My great escape.
Well, let's go back in history to where things could have gone a completely different way.
We started our band, Incubus. It was a project we were doing for a literature class. I always thought that I was going to go into either animation or fine art or something like that. I never stopped drawing and painting. It's just Incubus kind of took on a life of its own. I think the bottom line is I really do love painting. I love to stare into a blank canvas or a white sheet of paper and then make something that wasn't there before. It almost feels like I'm like giving birth to a miniature universe. This is a painting. My neighbor said, well, this looks like wild horses running wild.
I feel like I can visualize where he was going with that.
Yeah. I just started like smearing with my hands and dragging with my fingernails. This one's called Heart of Gold. My friend Lauren sat for me. And watercolor is extremely challenging as a medium. And that's what's kind of amazing about it, is that it is the least cooperative of the paints I've found.
With the new album coming out too, I would imagine this recording process, you know, you've been in the recording studio more than dozens of times.
Yeah.
What might be different about this experience versus older albums?
This was the most difficult record to write. It's like a dance that we're doing between what we know people want to hear and actual true innovation, like what we want to create, something new. On a nightly basis, I'm reminded of how sort of blessed we are and how lucky we are to have this experience.
This is Lexus Amazing Performances, featuring the all-new Lexus LC500. Lexus, experience amazing.
Our next artist grew up coming to performances here at the Grammy Museum, and now she's making a name for herself. Billie Eilish has been called a one to watch in 2017. Let's find out why. Let's talk about Ocean Eyes. How did this song come to be?
So my brother wrote it, and he kind of just came into my room one night, and he was like, I have this song, and I want you to sing it. I sang it, and it was like weirdly exactly what I was going through at the time, which was weird. I felt like he like jumped into my head and like wrote a song that was from my brain, and I just kind of fell in love with it.
Ocean Eyes was about something you were kind of going through at the time. What were you going through, and how did it come out in the song?
I was really into this boy with this curly brown hair and these deep blue eyes. Whenever I looked at him, I just like got lost in his ocean eyes. The song is like no fair, and you don't hear no fair in songs because I don't know why, but it really got to me. And then I'm scared, like when you kind of are falling in love with someone or realize you're falling in love with someone, it can be scary because even though I'm really young, like I've gone through stuff like that, and you're not in control, and you can't really be in control even if you try, which is terrifying.
What is it like collaborating with your brother? You guys have a good working relationship?
He's like my best friend, so I can kind of tell him anything and he can tell me anything, and even though we're like 4 years apart, we go through a lot of the same stuff because we're just really similar, so we can just relate really well to each other. It's amazing. I'll just go home and then go into his room because it's like that's where my brain leads me. If I'm feeling something, which is a lot of the time, I'll just go in and like be like, hey, I feel terrible right now, let's write a song about it, or I feel great, or whatever. I have a notebook where I just write everything that I'm feeling all the time. And sometimes it's a song, sometimes it's just how I feel.
This is Lexus Amazing Performances, featuring the all-new Lexus LC500.
For our last artist, we're at Good Times at Davy Wayne's, and this performance is full of surprises. Being in Danity, Kane, what did you learn from that experience, and what did you learn from working with P. Diddy?
Oh man, being on Making the Band was a huge experience for me just because I was coming from New Orleans, Louisiana, a girl who didn't know anything about reality TV. I was blindsided. I had no clue what it was going to be, but it was such a great experience because not only did it teach me how to be with women and how to be with groups and how to learn this industry, but it also just taught me how to be aware of everything around you, about how to deal with the industry and Diddy and that whole experience.
Let's talk about Trilogy. You just released the third album out of Trilogy, Redemption.
Redemption.
What was the most memorable part of putting Redemption together?
When we sat down and we said, we're gonna do a VR piece to this music and we're gonna release it to a world that may or may not be ready for it. That moment, I can't express to you what that made me feel like, to see myself in that world. We created something so innovative and so ahead of its time because it's still something that people are trying to catch up on. To do that with this album, I think that's the best thing I could have ever imagined to do.
Tell us about the song Renegades that you're performing on the show.
Renegade's my anthem. That's my fan base, my movement. I just wanted to make an anthem that was about the others, the people that are outcasted, you know, an anthem for them, the renegades, the rebels, the kids that stick out a little bit different, the ones that have gotten shamed throughout their lives, bullied, whatever. I can relate to that. It just drives you. It pushes you to stand up and say, I am one of those people. And that's what Renegades is. It's an anthem for the other.
I know you like it when I remind you that I'm yours. I push it on you real good, let the glitter fall. Let me decorate my love all on you so everyone knows. I got my name on you, let me escape what you want. It's triple gold, triple gold. Of course they know they feel off with a real one. But when it's two of us, we rockin' like an anthem. Yeah. Smooth like the fuel rolling in your engine. Oh, I got my name on it, booming in your system. Yeah. When my renegade. renegade. Need my renegade. Run away with the renegade. Run away with the renegade. Run away with the renegade. Run away with the
What an incredible way to end the show. We hope you've enjoyed all of the artists and performances tonight. And if you'd like more, just go to lexusamazingperformances.com. Until next time, I'm Erica Olsen. Thanks for watching.
The proceeding has been a special presentation sponsored by Lexus.